that just passed the Senate yesterday, and I think it just passed the House today, it didn't include, as far as I'm aware, the House didn't include any funding for that particular effort in the bill that passed.
President Trump is going to push, and he's going to push hard, that you guys are going to, there's going to be some bill that is going to be tied to that. Are you going to support paying for a wall between the United States and Mexico?
Well,
other than in metropolitan areas where you need to control immigration.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is this, that where a wall is appropriate, as there are walls already on the border in certain places, then there should be a wall, and it can be built, and it can make sense. But not all areas are going to be requiring that kind of a system. You may need electronic barriers. You may need personnel there. So it's going to take a variety. So you can have sort of all of the above approach to that security. Now, does it take a wall from the Pacific to the Atlantic? I very much doubt that. But does it take some kind of security? You bet it takes security. And we can figure out how to get that right. But let's talk a little bit about immigration, because I think, it's been brought up in several questions here, and I think it's important that we have a bipartisan fix for it. I think everybody would agree that we need border security, north, south, east, and west. Our ports east and west, our Canadian border, and our border with Mexico. That's what countries are required to do as part of their federal government, is to make sure that we have a safe and secure border. The second thing we have to do, we have 11 to 12 million people in this country who are here without documentation. It's estimated that 42% of that 11 to 12 million people came here on a valid visa, but overstayed their visa because our system wasn't quite equipped to address what happens next. So we need to fix that entry-exit system. And we've got legislation we can work on to do that has bipartisan support. The Senate passed bill in 2000, I believe, 13, or maybe it was 14, I don't remember which year it was, had bipartisan support. It had border security in it. We need to make sure that our labor systems are working. And that's not just for labor in a farm field, where we definitely need that labor, whether it's in a peach orchard in Palisade or a melon operation in La Junta. We have to make sure that they have the labor they need timely. It'd be great if all that labor was from La Junta, if all that labor was from Palisade. But the fact is, we don't have it all here, and we need to have a legal system to provide that labor, to make it work. The second thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that we have professions like doctors in rural communities that come from other nations, the ability to get here. So we need an overall immigration system that's actually going to work. J-1 visa system right now that could have tremendous impact on our ski industry if that is discontinued. So we have to have an immigration system that works. I believe there's a bipartisan opportunity to do it this year, including how to address children who are brought here through no fault of their own at a very young age. We can do this together, and I hope we get it done. But as far as the wall is concerned, where it's appropriate, we should have that in place. Where it's not, do something that works.